Hey everybody, Rosemary here, and welcome to my reaction and discussion for episodes 11 and 12 of Made in Abyss Season 1. Last week was wild, so it's been progressing up to something more serious. There's been hints from all the characters talking about how things are just going to get more and more dangerous and difficult as they go further down into the abyss. And there have been some altercations with other creatures, but, for the most part, Reg and Rico have always managed to make it out relatively unscathed. But that ended last week as they made it down into the fourth level. It was called the Giant something. And one of the characters, I can't remember who, said, maybe it was Ozen, talked about going from the third to the fourth level increase the chances of death exponentially. And with basically the very first encounter in the fourth layer, it was like this big fuzzy, almost like a Sasquatch looking thing with like poison barbs. And unfortunately, Rico got hit by it, and it was really brutal. You can really see just how dangerous it is. And it was very tough to watch. You forget sometimes that these are just children that are going through these things. So it got to a point where Rico was telling Reg to cut off her arm because it was all swollen up and she was just bleeding from everywhere. It was horrible. Thankfully, they did come across what is called a hollow that has, I believe, been mentioned in previous episodes. It's like this little rabbit-looking girl. She's the one that has been. I've been like, when is she gonna show up? So, the big question is like, what are the hollows? What does she want with them? She's offering to help them, but does she want something in return? We did see that she had like cave raiders equipment in her little house, so it's just like, does she take those from cave raiders that have passed? What's going on with that? So that's the big question, is like, who is this hollow? What does she want with Rico and Reg? And will Rico make it out of this situation with all of her limbs intact? So it was quite the cliffhanger last week. I can't wait to get back into it. And we are getting close to the end of this season, so I imagine it's just going to get more brutal. So anyway, let's jump back into it. I can't wait to watch these episodes, and I can tell you guys what I think afterwards, so let's get into it. So it was a place. So yeah, they said she was watching. She was watching from the beginning. Oh? Because Reich said about how from the moment they stepped in here that like he felt like someone was watching them. And she just steps in basically right when it seems like she's dead. I can't remember what her name is. It started with an N, but I can't remember what it was. Man, they're showing a lot of a recap from the last episode. I was like, come on, I want to know. I want to see all the new stuff. And then and then also he busted up her, he like broke her arm too. So even though her arm's not cut off, he busted it. So like that's gonna take some time to heal if it ever does. I'm like, it was like, come on, we don't have enough. Like, we still have, we don't have very many episodes before the finale. It's like, let's get to the new stuff. Although I do know that episode 13 is longer, so I will be doing episode 13 as its own episode next week, and then I know there's the movie, and I believe the first two movies are essentially recaps of like this season, and then I think the third one is the one that's like actually new content. So you guys can correct me on that, but I think that's how it is. You got some black ones in there too. I didn't notice that. Nanachi. Okay, so it's all stuff we already knew, but I was like, I'm trying to remember what the heck is a hollow. You think, instinctively, I think a hollow, I don't think is that as like a positive thing. I think like a hollow is something like dark. It's like a shadow, something that would not be helpful. But I have to say, I love the design of Nanachi. It's just so cute, just like a little rabbit girl. So, I mean, I imagine that they'll be able to save Rico, considering we've got, a whole ass movie and a whole second season as well. Now, the big question is, what are they gonna do about her arm? Does Nanachi have some sort of like magic to like repair it? It's like, yeah, Rico's got Reg to kind of help carry her around, but like the deeper they go into the depths, it's just gonna get more and more dangerous. So, and they're like, if she's already disabled in a way, that's no good. Oh, and now we've got, and now instead of Ozen, it's Nanachi, and the whole episode is called Nanachi. A small child. So that's what a hollow is. You don't know about us. I imagine they'll probably go into detail about like what is a hollow exactly. I almost feel like instead of being a child, I feel like she could very well also be like 100 years old. Either she looks, I don't know, like a wise little creature, like a woodland creature. Ugh. Oh, yeah, there's, ugh. Ugh, it just looks so bad. You need to insert it into the butthole. Oh man, oh man. I'm glad that ugh. Ugh, it's rough, but also like they've got that happy music and a little bit of comedy with the inserting in her butt, but also dealing with like, hey, you fucked her arm up. You smashed her arm. You did this. So she's not using magic, but medicine and just general first aid. Oh, it still looks really, really gruesome. Oh, he's like, all right, fetch quest time. He's like, I just want to give you hugs. So she seems uncomfortable with, like, contact. He's like, this is my first time doing this. I panicked. I don't know. I'm not, like, adept at breaking arms and cutting off limbs. I'd be concerned if he was. I love his. He's just like, you didn't step in to do anything. But this is back to, like, why would she help them? I mean, she's helping them now. Yeah. She's like, because you were too noisy. I need... I mean, he kind of was. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Is this the little creature? No. Okay, never mind. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh. I was gonna say that little, like, that little squirrel thing at the beginning. I was like, maybe it's that. Nope. That's horrifying. Jesus. Oh, God. That was a person? Jesus. Oh my God, she's just confronting him with, like, the truth of, like, this is what's gonna happen. But what about Nanachi? Like, her, yeah. The cave raider becomes a hollow. And collect their belongings before moving on. So she was a human. I wonder if this is some sort of hint about to what Reg is. Maybe Reg was also like a cave raider or someone who went down and he got turned into a robot by somebody, like was given parts and had his memories wiped? I don't know. She's pretty cute. All right, so this is just gonna be like, this is gonna be the episode of him just doing a fetch quest. Well, that was a pretty horrifying thing about like what hollows are, what they could become. It's like a hollow husk, and then she's like a hollow who's, like you said, retained her humanity. So they're almost there. They're almost at the 6th level. So that's horrifying to think like that's what could happen. Oh, that's one of the, yep, that's one of the white whistles that Ozen was talking about. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, I wonder if that's the one Ozen was talking about where like he especially, I don't like him. So he does experiments perhaps on children or other cave raiders? And he's got to be careful because he definitely, if he gets in a situation, he cannot use his annihilator because time's of the essence. And by the time he recovers, she will be dead. I was gonna say, dude, like, don't just go. A little bird, I mean, unless it's got some powers, I'm like, that's pretty tame in comparison to some of the stuff I imagine's down here. That's pretty cool. It's a good thing he's, as a robot, he's got a sense of smell, or else he'd just have to guess. All right, I thought he was gonna end up, um, right, the thing's got to go in her butt, doesn't it? Or that too. I like that even during all this, they're able to put a little bit of humor into it. Are they gonna kill that little thing? I feel kind of bad for it. Hopefully they are just gonna pluck the parrot. Okay, they're just gonna pluck the mushrooms. That's a pretty sad life. I guess it's like, oh, so he's gonna die anyway. It's like animals that get infected by parasites, right? He's just like a walking zombie. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. That's kind of cool. It's a good thing Rico is unconscious for all this. She's like, hey, I'm doing you a big favor here. Come on now. Aw. I wonder if there's a reason why she doesn't like being touched. I feel like there's going to be some, probably a not good reason why. She'd be like, can we just stay here? This is nice. You know, it looks like those are some grave sites. Gravestones. Oh! So he did have some memory with Liza. He did know Liza. I mean, it makes sense, right? She wrote in the book. Who knows? Maybe Liza was the one who sent Reg up to go find Rico. Maybe that was his whole task. Oh, shit. Wouldn't that be wild if, like, here's a crazy thing, but, like, what if what if Liza had twins or something, and then, like, maybe Reg was left down there, and maybe he was turned into a robot, maybe by that creepy white whistle guy who likes to do experiments. That's probably way out there. I highly doubt that. But either way, it seems like Reg and Liza had some sort of, they knew each other, perhaps. That's really pretty. I bet that Reg is one of the experiments of that white whistle guy. Maybe he was like a human child who he, like, you know, wanted to see if he could turn, like, put robot parts into him. Oh, there's that Mitty hollow thing. I feel bad saying thing because it was a person once. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So it was definitely more of like an episode where there wasn't a lot of action or anything, but a lot of stuff revealed about like hollows, that horrifying thing about like just what can happen in the sixth layer. The possible connection between Reg and Liza, and Mitty seems to be, I don't know, like interested in Rico. Maybe for whatever reason. Maybe Mitty also knew Liza. I don't know. There could just be a connection with everybody. All right. We're back to the surface now. Oh no. wonder if there's some sort of connection with this little boy and whatever might be happening down below. I keep forgetting that, I hate to say it, that these kids exist. He's so cute though. I don't want anything to happen to him. Oh, the birthday celebration. Was it the thing about, like, if you say something in the mirror or you look at yourself in the mirror or something on your birthday? On the same day of the year they were born. I wonder if this is connected to stuff that might be happening with other, maybe. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a coincidence. It's gotta be something to do with the abyss. Something. Maybe it's because they're so close to the abyss that, I don't know, it's affecting them somehow. And he's fine, seemingly. Okay. Maybe it's the fact that they're away from, like, the town. Maybe there's something in the town that's causing it, but weird that it would be, like, specifically on someone's birthday. That seems a little strange. So they're saying, like, that's what causes people to want to go down to the abyss. It's like some sort of weird, I guess, like, yeah, like a curse or some sort of disease. It's almost like a parasite that takes over an animal and makes them put themselves willingly in dangerous situations. So weird. Okay, man, they're just throwing, well, I guess there's, like, a whole other season in a movie, but, like, man, even this late in, like, they're throwing more potential mysteries out there and how that could be connected. Maybe as they get further down into the depths, maybe Rico and Reg will find out the truth to all of this. I am nervous for them going down to the 6th level after seeing Mitty. And hopefully they will focus, like, I want to make sure that Rico is okay. It's like, okay, interesting the stuff that's going up on the surface, but, like, I'm more interested in what's going on with these two. The true nature of the curse. All right, so we might get some answers here. So the fact he was mourning for her, so it was obviously a relationship where he had some sort of connection with her. Oh, Jesus. Ugh. There must be a reason, though. Oh, she, like, sucked it out? By injecting me with an orb. Oh, okay. All right, now this is what I'm interested in. Like, are we going to get to their backstory here? Okay, like, our story is very sad. Very sad. But she obviously doesn't want to talk about it. I think that's her subtle way of being like, it's a really fucked up story, and it's really sad and dramatic, and I really don't want to talk about it. Well, I mean, there was fish in there. It doesn't. It's not that weird. Ugh, discharge. That's never something that you want to be in your food. Oh, poor Nanachi. She's just like, oh, I guess when you're the only one eating something and you don't have other people to tell you if it's bad. Oh, oh. Once Rika wakes up, maybe she could, maybe she could make her something good. It's the biggest tragedy of all that she's never had good food. Oh, her arm's looking definitely better. All right. She's like, please. Yeah, she really doesn't like that. I want to know about that too. Oh, it's like an invisibility shield or what? All right, the true nature of the curse of the abyss. All right. What? What? Okay. It's always, yeah, it's always going up. That's the problem. Yeah, it's just like you're just. That's why people are just destined to lose. It's like, how can you fight that? The longing, right? That's what makes them want to go down in the first place. All right, what's this about? Okay, look at her. Her hand's almost back to normal again. God, is that going to be the first thing Rico sees when she wakes up? Oh, is that Mitty? Oh, geez. So Mitty still has like some consciousness. Or is that, wait, I'm so, like, is that Mitty looking at herself, or is that, oh, that's Rico. I was just like, I was so confused for a second. That certainly looks like she may have already been affected by the curse. There must be, yeah, some reason. I don't know if it's just because she's about the same age that Mitty is, like, so entranced by her. Whoa, that sounds like a gym teacher's whistle. It's so strange. Oh. Well, right, a whistle. I was like, of course, derp. I was like, why is there a whistling sound? Cave Raider, obviously. That dude's about to get... Is he about to get blasted by this thing? Once again, how do you fight against something that can predict the future and predict your attacks? Okay. All right. It seems like Nanachi, she's able to predict the future too. I guess she's a creature down here. Oh, he's going Super Saiyan. What? Wait. Wait, okay. The organ is used to sense the force field. Okay. It's like blocking its senses. Well, maybe he can't be affected by the poison if he's not truly human. Oh, he's gonna use the Annihilator. And she's like, I didn't predict that. Wonder if she's having a flashback to something. She seems surprised by it, but also, I don't know, somehow it seems somewhat familiar to her. Maybe I'm just interpreting it, but I still feel like this, like, Reg was experimented on by that thing that by the white whistle that she was working with. She's like, what are you so touchy? Stop it. Maybe she will? I don't think she can, though. She's got to look after Mitty. And she didn't say, don't touch me. shit. He's just like, oh. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be something pleasant. Like a mercy kill? I mean, I can only imagine the type of life poor Mitty has, maybe some level of consciousness of what it is, but... Oh boy. So this is probably... Or maybe... I feel like I won't let him keep doing as he pleases. Okay, so yeah, she was experimented on by that white whistle. That dude with the helmet. Yeah, probably is like a mercy kill. She can't do it herself because they were obviously friends or close. Wow, okay. Well, damn. Wonder if the next episode, it's the last episode of this season, if we're gonna see what led up to that, how Mitty became like that. It's probably not gonna be pleasant, I imagine. Alright, so these two episodes, well, definitely, like, it wasn't as intense as last week's. It still was a lot of new information that we've learned, but still a lot of questions to be answered. Learning about the hollows, what hollows are. I didn't realize that hollows were like the, remnants of people affected by the curse and ascending from level 6, it seems like, when they lose their humanity, and can either turn into Nanachi or Mitty. It can go one of two ways, apparently. I'm still, a little... I'm guessing that Nanachi was probably, like, a human girl herself who was turned into this rabbit thing, but like she said, she still maintained her humanity. And then there is, like she said, most people who turn into, like, Mitty, who, unfortunately, become, like, just... almost sort of sentient blob of like, you can't even decipher what the heck it is. So that was pretty crazy. But it is nice to see that, like, she didn't seem to have any real ulterior motive to helping them. It seemed like she said she felt bad for them, and it seems like she does have that, maybe she had that connection like she did with, like, maybe she couldn't save Mitty, so she figured, well, I can at least save Rico. Maybe she saw that, like, parallel between Reg and Rico and her and Mitty. And if she can't save her friend, then she can at least do her part to save another person. And then there was this whole thing about, like, on the surface with that cute little boy who suffered seemingly from the illness that kills people on their birthday, but then he's totally fine. And then there was also that thing with, like, Rico where she was unconscious, but she could see Mitty, and she seemed to be, like, wrapped up in this weird goo. It's like she herself was affected by the curse as well, and she could see Mitty, even though she's not conscious, she still, like, knows Mitty is there and maybe knows what Mitty is. I don't know, all that stuff. And then that moment at the end where Nanachi asked Reg to kill Mitty, probably a mercy kill. Maybe Nanachi does want to go with them, but she figures, like, she can't bring Mitty along with her. Mitty would just be dragging her down. So it's like a mercy kill, but also maybe Nanachi doesn't want to be stuck there. Maybe she wants to get out of there, but she can't leave. So that's the thing, is, like, if you kill Mitty, then, then I can go with you and help you out, because she seems to have a lot of knowledge about, like, medicine and things like that. And I'm wondering if, like, that moment where she saw Reg use his annihilator, maybe she's like, oh, like, maybe he can use that on Mitty. So I don't know, man. That was just, like, a really depressing ending. And then also the connection, of course, with Reg and Liza, and also with Nanachi and the White Whistle, whose name I can't freaking remember, the one Ozen talked about. I imagine we're going to, like, he's probably going to be the villain, he's going to be the real bad dude. It seems like he's experimenting on children. It seems like he did that experiment on Mitty, and possibly Nanachi as well, and maybe Reg, because Reg is connected to this somehow as well. It just feels like there's all of these pieces, and they're all kind of floating around, and they connect in some way. I don't have those answers yet, but I imagine they will be happening, especially with the last episode. My guess is we're probably going to get into what happened with Nanachi and Mitty, because Reg wants to know their backstory. So maybe Reg will be like, okay, I will do this, but I want to know more about what happened. So I have a feeling, especially because it's like the last episode is an extra long episode, we're probably going to be going into that, and I don't imagine it's going to be pleasant if that's the case. But we are almost done season 1, and I'm nervous and trepidatious, but also excited to see what is going to be revealed in that episode. So I hope you guys are excited for that too. So stay tuned next week for episode 13, the finale, and then after that I will be watching the movie as well, and then of course going on to the second season. So there is still a lot of Made in Abyss content, which I'm excited for because I'm really liking this anime so far. So thank you guys so much for watching my reaction and discussion for episodes 11 and 12, and stay tuned next week for the season finale. Until then, bye guys. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Kiori Makoto, SM, Revealing Storm, Tequila Mockingbird, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, iCognito, Jared Fan, Joel Oostman, and Zoran Ether.